Yo, guys, big up to every single one of you guys. Smash up the likes, everything. Comment, subscribe, everything. I still have to make this done real quick. Hopefully, everyone is doing good. I'm doing amazing, bro. We just had the best game. A lot has happened. A lot has happened. Yes. Guess what? No. Let's say, but yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to edit something, but yeah. Hold on, I'm just kidding. So yeah, so yeah. Hopefully everyone is doing good. I'm doing fine. I'm just trying to do everything as always. So join me in the live stream. So yeah, we're kind of live doing kind of a bit late, I know. I've been doing good. So yeah, let's react to it. I gotta put these highlights on. So yeah, join the stream, guys. Join the stream. You just missed on Absent Cinema. Because guess what? Guess what? A lot of things. Porto is champion. Porto is champion of Portugal. So yeah, all I want to say, congratulations to Porto on winning the Portuguese Cup. On the Portuguese League, my bad. And you know what? Before I release my camera, I'm just happy. But yeah, congrats to the Dragons. They're champions of Portugal. They've done it. Campeones. And I know I couldn't do a live watch along. Sorry about that, just because it's been overwhelming. So I need more people join the stream. I need people join the stream. So yeah. So let's talk about it in the next hour or so. A lot has happened about today, bro. So I'm trying my best, bro. So yeah, I know it was a failed live stream on Thursday. Corinthians won, yes, on Thursday. So yeah, even though this was from Thursday, so I'm trying to update this. So yes, I don't know where to start, but all I gotta say, congrats to FC Porto on becoming champions of Portugal. Well deserved. Well deserved. Yo, Vinny, big up, bro. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, you saw my message. We're just trying to react to these in the next hour. Congrats to Porto, the champions of Portugal. They got the job done today with 2 games to spare. All they needed was to draw, and they beat Alacen 1-0. I haven't even watched the highlights, bro. And we'll try to react to the celebrations. But yeah, big up. Of course, subscribe. And we just hit 100 subscribers. So yes, yes. Even though I'm stupid mob not loading is a joke. And sorry about the complication, guys. I know my room is a mess. Everything is a mess. But I'm actually trying to get back forward after my vacation. Even though I didn't did much this week. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Porto wins 1-0, even though stupid Flop Mob is trying to act up. I have to refresh the page. All right, come on. All right, so yeah, Porto is officially champions of Portugal. All I gotta say, congrats to Porto, bro. And you know what? At this point, congrats to them. At this point, not only congrats to them, I'm really happy that they won. Congrats to FC Porto, current champions of Portugal. They've done it. They finally did it. So you know what? At this point, I'll join in the celebrations. I'm wearing a Porto shirt. Yes, I got from this season, and they won. King gets to bed. And at this point, I might just have to start supporting FC Porto as my only club. Like at this point, yes. And I'm really proud of them. And I just started watching FC Porto, of course, this season. And what the squad they have is amazing, bro. I know they got knocked out of the Europa League by Nottingham Forest in the quarterfinals a few weeks ago. Even though I thought it was a bit unlucky because Porto were probably screwed over from the refs. But the squad they have is actually pretty underrated, I would say. Look at the squad, bro. They had the Costa and goal. The center back scored. And I didn't even watch the highlights. I didn't even have time to watch the game. But yeah, this game was at 12:30 p.m. And in Porto, all they needed was to draw. So all I want to say, congratulations to the Dragons. I'm willing to join the Dragon family. Will I start like a Porto fan channel in English? I don't know, because I at this point I might just be a Portista, and I'm really proud. Congrats to FC Porto on winning the trophy. Like I said, they win the league with 7 games to go. Because guess what happened today? Earlier that day, Benfica, after Sporting Lisbon's dropping points, Benfica drew today. Earlier, they drew Palmeiras. I think that's how you pronounce it. Palmeiras. I know my Portuguese is not the best. They drew. They went 2-0 up. They had a control. They had a penalty. Great goal from Richard Rios, the Colombian. And everything was going well until Otamendi loses his head. And they go ahead and capitulate. They almost lost this game. They should have lost this game. And they started to pepper. So these were the stats. Benfica lost. Benfica, I mean, they technically drew, but yeah, it's over for them. So all I got to say for Benfica, of course, all Portuguistas are laughing. Thank you for gifting us the league title. You did one impossible mission by stopping Sporting Lisbon. Absolute frauds, but we're going to get to Benfica. I just need to grab water. But yeah, I'm really happy for Porto. I might just be a Portuguese at this point. What a club, man. What a fantastic squad. I need to get in. I need to get some more to them. And I like Porto. Their football heritage. European giant. The pride of Portugal. It's no longer Benfica. It's Porto. Portugal is blue and white. Not red. It's not even close. This Argentinian's fraud, Otamendi, loses his head. He loses his head. Gets sent off. The 55th minute. He loses his head. I think it might have been the second yellow. And then Otamendi gets sent off. And then everything caused them. The main Hurricane, they equalized. And here's the thing. If Flair would have won this game, Porto would have been champion. By now, would have been champion even before kickoff against Alaves. And I'm still trying my Portuguese. I'm still trying, of course, learn Portuguese, of course. My Portuguese is not the best because I speak Spanish more because I'm Hispanic, of course. American, but I love I love Portugal, and and Porto. They are the pride of this nation. Everything, because Benfica, they're not doing so great. So congrats to the Dragons, to los Dragones. Levels. Benfica. It's all I gotta say. Even though I would want to respect them, even though shoot they got a next game against Braga, it probably won't matter. Kind of a big game. All I gotta say, you can hold that as well. Chupa Benfica, because guess what? Benfica! These guys are starting to annoy me at this point. These guys are going trophyless. 0 trophies. You're not going to win anything. Benfica, mierda. Trash. You couldn't do it without the refs. And they're a bunch of crybaby sore losers on social media. They're not even hiding it. They're no better than Sporting Lisbon. Even though Benfica has always been Porto's biggest rivals, in Sporting Lisbon, I'm starting to despise them too because they're kind of complaining about. So yeah. So all I gotta say, all those racist chants against Vinicius Jr. and Real Madrid proves that you guys are hitting rock bottom, bro. Imagine teaming up with Valencia, who allowed the Atletico Madrid's youth academy / B team run over them. It's diabolical. Look at both of you guys. Look at Benfica. These guys can't even go straight wins. Display merchances. The best thing you did was beating Sporting Lisbon for yourselves and for me. That's about it. These guys are not fun to watch. These guys got away for draw, and I know Porto bottled this the last El Clasico or Portugal's El Clasico. They should have lost this game. I don't know how Jose Mineiro has managed to get away with being unbeaten. I don't think they lost the game in the league then. They lost to Real Madrid. Of course, home and away, except for that final league phase, just because you lost to Juve 2-0. We knocked you out of the cup. Porto, you lost to Leverkusen at home, so you maybe have that invincible, right? But you guys dropped so many points, you guys can't even do it. You lost to a crap Chelsea. Yes, you did lose 3-0 like Barcelona. You scored an own goal. Don't forget you got humiliated by Newcastle and Benfica, bro. These guys are finished, bro. There's nothing fun to watch about Benfica. All they do is just sit there, cry there. They're not even behaving like a proper big club, bro. Benfica, bro, small. You're out of every competition. You're out of the League Cup. You're out of. Of course, you were expected to lose the league to us today, to Porto, and you're out of the Champions League, and you can't qualify for the Super Cup, even though Porto should have been that cup final. And you're out. And like I said, Porto, we're the ones that knocked you out of the cup, even though Sporting Lisbon did kind of rob Porto with of course. For not giving the penalty, of course, in the second leg, of course, that 0-0 draw over a week ago. But overall, good season from Benfica, Porto, not Benfica. Benfica, these guys are just happy to be there. They're likely going to qualify for UCL. I think you got second. I think you get UCL football. Or no, you don't even. Oh, you have Champions League qualification, which also happened last year. Which Benfica and Sporting Lisbon, of course, they're having a rivalry, and now Sporting Lisbon, they're going down to Europa League. Braga, I think this is Conference League qualification. Yes, Conference League as a whole. So yeah, so these teams will go. So yeah, and of course, yeah, Porto, they did the job, not the perfect football. They had the better chances, but yeah. All that matters, I mean, they could have played for a draw, but of course they would do display goal. But that was a great goal I know I'm yet to watch the full highlights, but I'm still trying to know about the squad. But yeah, all I gotta say, congrats to everyone. Congrats to my Brazilians, Thiago Silva. Even though I don't think he played, he didn't play a single minute or second. Congrats to our veterans, Thiago Silva and William Gomez. I believe he's Brazilian, right? Yes, surely. Or is he Brazilian? Yes, he is. Or is he Brazilian or Portuguese? Oh, there he is. Yes, just because most. So yeah, congrats to him, and I think there's also another Brazilian. Congrats to all of us. Porto's campeón. Porto, that brings them to a total of 87 trophies. So yeah. So yeah, Porto. Hold on, let me search it. Just to get it right. So yeah. What a Saturday. So yeah, so it looks like we're tied. It looks like I think we're tied. So yeah, all I gotta say about this game, I'm still trying to learn about Porto's squad. That baller, Rodrigo Moda, what a baller, bro. The Portuguese. Oh my god, bro. This kid is absolutely cooked, bro. I'm telling you, as long as they. And don't forget, we got Luke De Jong from PSV, which I forgot. Yes, this is the same Luke De Jong who signs from Porto from PSV. They're the Barcelona, which remember he picked them up on a free transfer. Didn't have to pay any single money. Free agent, which I thought he was going to stay at PSV, even though he probably gets tired because PSV has officially won the league. So yes, even though he was injured. So congrats to all of us. So yeah, so Porto, they were expected to win, and now, thanks to Porto winning the league, they tied the same number of trophies. Big up, Mel. We're celebrating Porto's championship. They're champions of Portugal. They've won the league today, and I'm wearing the Porto kit because we are going to absolutely go on Twitter in a bit as well to talk about the celebrations. We're also going to talk about Palmeiras, Atletico Mineiro, and Inter Miami. Cruzeiro, stinker, and Inter Miami. Biggest bottle drop for them. But yo, Mel, I did saw your victory against Fulham. I'm not going to lie. Arsenal, they played really well. They actually played really well. They actually turned up for once. And like my response, I was like, damn, Fulham didn't got nowhere near. Nice Porto jersey. Thanks. I got this like over a month ago. May 9th. Toronto versus that's their next game. That's true. 3 open play goals at them. Which one? Wait, which 3 open play goals? Yes, Miami, bro. Did you not saw the bottle drop? We're gonna talk about it in a bit. So I'll be here for the next, of course, half an hour. So of course we're gonna start off with Porto, but yeah, Miami, the same team that beat us, that beat Porto in the Club World Cup. Even though we had a fraud, a semi at that time. It's a Golo Loco, of course, Payaso Scrub at that time. We didn't have Porto's manager, which funny enough, his name is Francisco Fratelli. He's Italian, but he doesn't know Portuguese, but he decides to speak English rather than even Italian, even if he doesn't know how to speak Portuguese. What a manager, bro. He's bringing back to life everything. So he will have a contract till 2028. He has revived everything, bro. And he's only 37 years old. So, yes, and he's been alongside with all the players in, like, the tactical system. His win rate has been pretty good. 75%. Mostly good. Brought back the vibes, even though Porto did lose a couple games, even though not all of them were his fault because there's been some officiating, unfortunately, which is true. But yeah, congrats to FC Porto. We're now tied with Benfica. on titles, but however, we could potentially overtake them. Oh, goal! Los Angeles. They just tied their game against San Diego 2-2 just now. San Diego actually capitulated. Can Porto surpass Benfica with the Super Cup title in July? So I could be wrong. So now Porto wins the league. We're likely going to have to play Sporting Lisbon in the Super Cup, or looking back to back Tupi or Portuguese Cup titles, pretty much. If Porto wins the Super Cup later this year after the World Cup, if Porto wins the Super Cup, we officially overtake Benfica as the biggest club. We've always been caught up after a rough 2025. Oh my goodness, bro. To all the Portuguistas, even though I'm about to be one myself soon at this point, that might just be my club, because it has been a rough side. Got knocked out in the Club World Cup group stage, finished in third. Couldn't qualify for the Champions League, got knocked out of the Cup again early. And then couldn't win the League Cup, got knocked out as well, disappointingly. Got knocked out of the Europa League stage in the playoffs early. Makes no sense. Couldn't beat a 10-man United, I believe, or something. But yeah, that was a rough time, 24-25. Everything. And including, don't forget, this is going to be emotional for Portuguistas. It's been a tough time. Especially two former players that used to play for Porto, unfortunately passed away, which we all in 2025 was a rough time. Jorge Costa and Diego Jota had to pass away in the span of a month, which rest in peace though. We're all devastated from these, especially one of them that died kind of a bit too young, too early, and that's passed away super early, including a young one. And but yeah, rest in peace. And I hope that I hope the trophies we gifted is for them, not just for the fans, but everything. It's kind of this is why 2025 was kind of the worst year to be a Porto fan. Everything kind of sucked. But ever since the new coach, ever since hiring Francisco, I thought things would improve. Even though I got to charge up my phone. So yeah, 2025 was just kind of depressing, bro. You lose icons. Even though of course the sanctions were lifted, even though it was a year revival of financial stuff. But yeah, it was a rough time last year. And now you guys have won the trophy. The league trophies. So yeah, congrats to FC Porto, all the Portuguistas. Let me charge up my phone. I was just trying to make sure. Yeah. Because I'm trying to learn about Porto. Big up to the blue and white family driving. This is the pride of the blue and white. Alright, I'm back. Yes, and I still have, of course, to fix up my room and that. Even though this was a rough time, I mean, yes, we did win the Super Cup. I mean, Porto did win the Super Cup in 2024. But the year 2025 sucked. And now this is somewhat relief. Now champions of Portugal going back to the Champions League. Of course, the top where we should be. Not Europa League, even though we had a great run. I thought the refs kind of screwed over. Even though I don't like talking about refs, but some calls, bro. But hey, I guess we'll drink all the Benfica tears. Let's see what they're saying. But yeah, everything. And now they're champions 2025, 2026. And then, like a new owner of the president, everything changes for Porto. So, congrats to the Dragons. Congrats to los Dragones. I'm proud to join to be Portista. Porto, the pride of the blue and white cartel. Yes, I know Real Sociedad defeated Atletico Madrid to win the Copa del Rey, but let's be honest. Even though that's pathetic from Pathetico Madrid. But let's be honest, Porto's a bigger club. Like Sociedad, with due respect, they are nowhere near Porto's trophy cabinet, bro. It's not even close, bro. Even though Porto could have gotten the Europa League, could have qualified for the Super Cup, I really wanted Porto to play PSG in the UEFA Super Cup. But yeah, but I just hope Porto continues. But yeah, Porto, Benfica, 87 trophies. We're not far off from Real Madrid trophy cabinet of 100. Hopefully Porto does win another UCL in my lifetime, even though I know they haven't done that. Of course, it's slowing down, of course. But hopefully, once go back to the high levels. All the ballers they have, Mora, and just everything, bro. I like this. I might just be a Portista. I tend to not have a club, but if I do find one, I think Porto will be the perfect one. Blue and white, azul y blanco. The pride. Porto, 2 UCLs, football heritage. Even though Porto Stone has a smaller international fan base compared to Arsenal, PSG. You know who I'm talking about. Atletico Madrid, kind of, but they just have more. So yeah, big up Jay Jordan. Porto won the league in Portugal. That's what I'm celebrating. But yeah, after being a tough year, all the Portuguesas will be relief. Everything. So yeah, as long as Porto wins the Super Cup, most likely going to be Sporting Lisbon, those absolute frauds. Even though Benfica, of course, is a bigger being than Porto, but Sporting Lisbon, they've been acting up as well. But yeah, 2026 has been the turnaround, return domestic dominance, including the recovery. President Andre Villa, everything. And this is what I like. And hopefully Porto continues to thrive. Let's see how they do in the Champions League. Congrats to FC Porto. Big up, Jay. Yes, big up. Make sure you subscribe to both of my friends' channels, Jay and Mel. So, yes. So, I mean, these games won't really matter. But, yeah, their offense, bro, been pretty good. Even if it's not the best, they've been so much better than under a semi. So, yeah, Victor Djokovic, no longer there at Sporting Lisbon. Even though they have a new striker, Javier Luis Suarez, different Suarez. But yeah, this is the center back, even though it's playing. So yeah, especially what they have. So yeah, Porto in a recovery from last year's awful year, 2025. Like, how did you lose to Inter Miami, and how couldn't you beat the worst side of Palmeiras? If it wasn't for that scrub, Porto probably finished first in the Club World Cup. Maybe Miami would have been knocked out. Because if it wasn't for him, I think Porto beats Miami and Palmeiras. And then who knows how Haley Stoney. They had that thriller 4-4. But like it just makes no sense. So yeah. So we're gonna talk about Palmeiras. Don't get me don't we will be there in a bit. We will be there. I just want to talk about Porto. Congrats to all of my all of the Portuguesas, which I might join the family at this point. I need to 3D print the Portuguese league at this point. Screw it. I have to do it soon. I have to keep printing more MLS Cups. I have to, and this is why this week I'll be working on so much. Another Scudetto, another Cup title, another. Yes, I know. I still gotta print these, sell these online. So yeah, I'm officially selling them like within 2 weeks, guys. I just need to paint them. I just need to stick them. I'm on my way. Life has been good. Today has been an amazing day, kind of. At Pizza Rocco's, everything. So yeah, congrats to Porto. Likely play Sporting Lisbon Super Cup as long as they win that. We overtake them. We've overtaken Benfica as the biggest club in Portugal. Benfica, bro, these guys are sore losers, bro. All they do is bitch and moan, complain about this, that, everything. These guys are not serious. And, like, I'm not surprised they even allow Argentinian frauds, bro. I'm not surprised. While Porto, this is show love, family, unity, and not sore scumbag losers, sore losers like Benfica. Because Benfica, I kind of feel bad for some Benfica fans that actually want me. But it's like, I kind of do feel bad. So, Adam, are you the only one streaming, bro? No one isn't on YouTube? I might just be it. Yeah, I might just be the only one. I know it's like late, of course. I mean, everyone is still sleeping in Europe. It's about to be 9 p.m. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about Inter Miami, Jordan, in just a sec. And Jordan or Jay, what's your prediction for Liverpool United? I guess we'll go to that, even though we'll still react to some tweets. Tomorrow's the game. I won't be here for a live watch along. This is mostly at this point a fight for the top 5 for the Champions League. Manchester United, Liverpool, old enemies, old rivals clash. Manchester United will be wearing in red because that's their home. So apparently they're saying Alisson is back. So yeah, looks like a couple of the injuries. Martinez suspended. So yeah, so they got Liverpool have the more injuries, but apparently Alisson is back. Apparently, so yes, got the old rivals once again. White versus red. I mean, technically it's supposed to be red versus red or orange versus red, but do them same colors. They can't wear. We'll never find the world because it's professional football. 2 colors, just like if Porto, and there was another club that wear the same blue and white stripes. I forgot. I'm still trying to know it. But what's your prediction on United? They are at home at Old Trafford. They are the favorites to win. So yeah, bro, you should be slapping like everyone else. Yeah, smash up the likes, like, of course. Smash up the likes, bro. It's all, dude. It's only 9. It's only 9 p.m. Dude, it's only 9 p.m. I'm in California, bro. Like, yes, California. We're one of the last places on Earth. And don't get me wrong, I will go to bed even after this stream. And I might just watch maybe towards near the end of Cruz Azul Atlas. But yeah, but it's 9 it's only 9 p.m. And just to talk about my reaction. Even though I won't, I mean, we'll talk about, I will be live tomorrow. I will be doing Flamengo versus Vasco tomorrow. Clásico dos Millones. So we got 2 big games. Manchester United, Liverpool, Flamengo, Vasco, Rio de Janeiro, Clásico Derby. We are so going to be here. Flamengo Vasco is for free on YouTube. I just wish I could. I don't know if I just wish, even though of course the game is for free on YouTube, but I don't know if I'm allowed to share it with it, even though it is for free on YouTube, just so you could see the game and you can see my reaction. I mean, I still want to do it, especially Flamengo versus Vasco is a big game, and I'm gonna explain about Palmeiras. But yeah, I would say my prediction: United wins 2-1, just because Skokin and Buemo, like Casemiro, they've been pretty well, and like they're silencing the haters. United, bro. So yeah, this is the biggest game before we head to the second leg of the Champions League. So yeah, so I guess let's talk about Inter Miami just to get it out of the way. So Inter Miami, surprisingly, even though I didn't watch this game, I almost forgot they played. They drew. They lose 3 after winning those games away in Colorado and Utah, who, by the way, are an absolute joke. They go ahead and lose at home. They bottle a 3-0 lead. How did Miami went from 3-0 up to lose the game 4-3? How is that possible? Mahler scored a hat trick. And Miami loses their first game at home. And it proves Miami ain't serious. After getting those lucky wins against Colorado and Utah, which Diego Luna, not good enough, their defense capitulated. And how did they lose, Jordan? Jay, did you watch this game? I'm not here for. All right, yeah, that's fine because I know you live in Jamaica. I know. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Miami capitulated. Messi scores, and just for them to lose this game, wow! They had all the big chances and they couldn't convert them. They go ahead and lose in front of their home fans. More shots on target. XG of 3, which they did score 3. And they go ahead and score. They go ahead and capitulate and lose 4. That is just mad. How is that possible, George? And this is disappointing because here's the thing. Those wins against Colorado, Utah, guess what? But this loss, you're sitting in third. You're sitting in third. So you're really lucky Chicago lost. Cincinnati won today. You're only lucky Nashville drew. You know, I think they heavily rotate just because they had to play Tigres. And Tigres won. They beat Chivas 3-1. Even though Chivas didn't have their best players just because of the new format rules. New England, they won. They beat Philadelphia. Philadelphia are absolutely ass. Where's Philadelphia? And Orlando City are now in 13th place. These guys were losing games in Orlando City. You did beat them like 2 months ago. Exactly like 8 weeks ago. And then, oh shit, they actually won back-to-back 4-3 wins. And here's the funny part. Even though they beat both New England and Miami back-to-back. I mean, no, this is actually in the U.S. Open Cup. Orlando are through to the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. Oh, I didn't notice. They win 4-3 in the Open Cup, and they beat Miami 3-0. All right, good night. But even though we're still talking about Miami, Orlando City, before that, they were not doing good, but they won back-to-back games. They were not doing good. They did batter Charlotte. They lost 3-2 to DC the week before, and here were the results. They were losing games. They were not playing well. They lost 6-0 to LAFC, 5-0 to Nashville 2 weeks before, and then they scraped wins. Well, they lost 5-0 to New York City. They lost the first derby at home, 4-2, and they lost to Red Bull on the opener. And now against Miami, these guys successfully won the derby and came back. And on aggregate score, Miami kind of wins 5-7 to 6, similar to the Inter Milan Barcelona tie. But that's just mad, bro. Look at this. Just how can you do this? And then, like, well, does that mean Orlando's gonna bring the momentum? Let's see. These guys actually showed up. Let's see how consistent they'll be against these teams. Let's see. Oh shoot! They actually drew Atalanta. They drew out Atlanta United back to back. Woo! In the league and cup, this is gonna be feisty because these two teams. That's Orlando's second rival outside of Miami. It's with Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta United, and then the World Cup break. So we'll see. Anything is possible. I know Miami still got to play Nashville, but if you're Orlando, this better be momentous, especially Griezmann coming in, even though they're in the mud. Inter Miami, they got away with a win against Salt Lake City because these guys are not good enough. They drew New England. They lost to Orlando City today. A week of preparedness, and they still lost. And now they're going to have to visit Toronto, which is not going to be easy, and it's in Canada. And Toronto, you guys hardly win. You guys always kind of struggle. Yeah, you guys always kind of struggle. So yeah, it's in Toronto away. So let's see how they could cope. They still got to play Cincinnati soon. Next week. I mean next week. They got to play Cincinnati away. They got Portland. They got to play a lot of teams. Even though they will have that World Cup break, so their last game is against Philadelphia. They still got to play a lot of games away. And listen, they're not even the favorites. LAFC, I know they just tied just now. Hold on, can I do the full thing? Not just the Western Conference. The Supporter Shield, the Earthquakes, I know they drew, but Vancouver teams are losing. Who are they playing? Are they playing the Galaxy? Oh, yeah, they are. And it's 1-0 at the moment, even though I'm not even doing a watch-along. 46 minutes. Man, the Galaxy might be pulling out. They might actually be winning games now. I'm not going to lie. This title race is not even... This Supporter Shield race, we're going to keep an eye. It's going to take a while, just like the Brazilian League, which I'll get into it. But Miami are sitting in ninth. 9 points behind San Jose. And by the way, San Jose actually drew Toronto today. And Toronto plays Miami next week since they're playing the majority of the first half at home because due to cold weather. Even though those are mostly early games. So yeah, let's see how it happens. Nashville, of course, they drew today. LAFC, they drew. They still got a lot of points, but LAFC are better than Inter Miami, though. They probably rotated just because of that game against Toluca. And Toluca don't play till tomorrow. They got Pachuca. They got Pachuca tomorrow. So let's see how it happens. But yeah, Miami loses, so I can't really trust this Miami side. Against Miami, I wouldn't be surprised if you go trophy this. I don't think you win the League's Cup because San Jose, LAFC are better than you. Even though LAFC are still mixed up feelings. They did have to struggle against San Diego, who in their second season good, but they managed to get another result. Oh shit! Goal! Goal! Cruz Azul have actually scored. Goal! They scored. They scored. They scored. They scored Cruz Azul. So yeah. They scored against Atlas just now. They couldn't hold on for the first half. And the vacation, they're just black and red versus Cruz Azul are playing in white. And they're still losing. Eric Lia is cooking them. Wow. what a Saturday. So yeah, let's see how it built out. There's still a lot of season, but right now San Jose, LA are the favorites. And let's see how LA does, but we'll see. Okay, but yeah, besides Inter Miami, I'm not surprised about who they might. Even if they get Casimir, do I think they'll win their MLS Cup trophy back to back? Probably not. They're out of the Champions Cup. They can't participate in the Open Cup. They got Leagues Cup, the Supporters Shield, and MLS. I mean, they still got to play that so-called MLS Liga Meki Super Cup against Toluca, but that isn't until September or October. Anything can happen from here to now. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. But guess what? I want to talk about the Brazilian League. So, previewing the Clásico dos Milhões. These are the Palmeiras. These were the results. Botafogo loses to Remo at home. These guys actually capitulated. Let's talk about the big one, Palmeiras Santos. I couldn't do a watch along. I know Neymar didn't play, and I had to go to Walmart. I had to rush. What do you mean you can't keep up with you at this rate? Well, I mean, what? I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just trying to explain. I mean, like, chill, bro. Like, I know you're not confident. I mean, unless you're going to bed. All right, good night. I know. Yeah, I know I'm going live a bit late, even though, of course, you're welcome to watch a replay. But I'm just saying about these results that haven't. Because listen, the reason why I couldn't go watch long, I had to eat early. I had to go to Walmart, pick up paints for these trophies and all that. Trying to get another 3D printer in case if I have to go for World Cup game. But yeah, I didn't fully watch the game. I saw some fan reactions. Palmeiras won, Santos won, 1-1 draw versus Paco Lopez equalizes. There was a goal disallowed for Palmeiras at the last minute, apparently. That was offside. And Palmeiras, they couldn't take advantage. After that 1-1 draw against Peñarol, or that team from Paraguay. Yeah, and Santos, they didn't even have Neymar because Neymar doesn't even like playing that turf. Gabriel was pretty mid got the goal himself. I think it was a solo goal, apparently. On assist. I think it might have been the throw-in. So Neymar isn't really suspended. He just doesn't want to play in that. So yeah, I guess they're missing Victor Roque. Albert Ferreira again suspended apparently because he always complains and moans. Yeah, and now with this, Flamengo has a chance. Yes, they're 7 points clear of Flamengo right now. But however, Flamengo has 2 games in hand. Just like the Arsenal City factor. Flamengo, if they beat Vasco tomorrow in the derby of the millions, or Clásico of the millions, the real Derby Vasco, or the Rio de Janeiro Derby, whatever you want to call it, Clásico dos Milhões, if they win, which they are, as the voters are giving it a 64% chance of winning, or at least the votes. Flamengo are the clearly favorites. Yeah, Vasco did manage to win against 3-0 Olympia, which Olympia I thought played bad. Flamengo had a tough game against Estudiantes, but I think once seeing the other results, I think this will motivate the team. So I think this is that. So before we preview Clásico dos Milhões, so yeah, Flamengo beats Vasco. Don't forget, they have a game in hand against Mirassol, and if they win that, 1 point. And here's the thing, Flamengo's next home game, even though they got a couple away games coming up soon. And who knows, maybe this game against Estudiantes, depending on the other results, probably won't matter. Because this is the last group stage game, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they still got to play next week. So Flamengo, they got a couple away games soon. Flamengo, if they beat Vasco tomorrow, and if they beat Mirassol, which that game will likely be played after the World Cup, and if they beat Palmeiras on May the 24th or 23rd, which they might be the favorites, they'll overtake Palmeiras. So right now they're 7 points, but tomorrow they could reduce that to 4, potentially 1 if they do beat Mirassol. Potentially go 2 points ahead if they beat Palmeiras, if they manage to get. So for Flamengo, before we preview Clásico dos Millones, Palmeiras, this was a bit disappointing. Didn't take advantage. You could say Helder Ferreira, of course, always gets suspended, even though he's all. So it doesn't have, and even though Santos didn't even have Neymar, you could say Palmeiras didn't have Ferreira or Roque, / best player, but you could also say they didn't have Neymar. They didn't have, I don't know, a really important player. So in my opinion, I thought Palmeiras, this is gonna be real tough, bro. They've been getting away with some results. I'm not gonna lie. They were scraping wins nearby. And they may be mostly through. Look at this. Palmeiras got a scrapey 2-1 win against Sporting Cristal, apparently. And so they scraped a win against Atletico Paranense. Could have gotten a pen. They did. They scraped by Bragantino. They drew. And now they drew Santos, even though I know. So they still got to play Sporting Cristal. So these are the fixtures. Palmeiras has some tough games. Flamengo, you could say yes, they got they have tough games. They got to play Colombia this weekend, this Thursday. They got to play Grêmio this Sunday after El Clásico wraps up, which we might do a watch along, which also takes place as São Paulo and Corinthians clash on the weekend as well. After that, another Debry Paulista. But Palmeiras, they got some tough games. They got to visit Sporting Cristal away. They got to visit Remo, which been doing okay. The league, and that probably will be tough. They'll be without Roque until after the World Cup. They won't have them against Flamengo. And of course, Flamengo just lost Ascaeta. Let's see how they got. They could potentially rotate just because they lose 3-0. They got to play Cruzeiro still in the league. They still got to play Cruzeiro. Even though Cruzeiro, we're going to get to them. They just lost the Mineiro derby, 3-1. And then they still got to play. Oh, and depending on the group. Listen, right now, Palmeiras, with that draw against Corinthians, with that draw, they're going to have to win. They could potentially, if they want to get first, they're going to have to win that game. Sporting Cristal, we'll see, because we all know the thriller they just gave them. So it won't be easy for them. Palmeiras hasn't been playing that well. Flamengo, this is the game that will decide on. This is actually going to be played on Saturday, 5 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. over there. So, like a few weeks after El Clásico. So, yeah. They won't have any of these players available. Paulino just got back from injury, even though Flamengo, the problem is Vascaeta could be out of the World Cup potentially. Pereira, they're saying thoughtful. Lucas Paquetá may be injured, but we'll see what happens because Flamengo and Palmeiras. Well, this is going to be the match that might, I'm not saying decide the title, but it's just an early, kind of match day 17. So it's going to be really interesting how it breaks out. But they still got that tough game against Cruzeiro first. And then in reverse fixture, they got to visit Cruzeiro away at the Mineiro now. We'll see how that plays out because Cruzeiro just beat Boca Juniors just to lose to Atletico Mineiro, their biggest rivals, who got trashed from Flamengo last week. Palmeiras would begin Friday, July 24th against Atletico Mineiro. I think some of these games are still yet to be fixed up. They got to visit Botafogo, Fluminense, Mirassol. They got whole Sao Paulo, even though they got the whole Grammy. I mean, well, of course, got some Indian fun. This is the same weekend as Flop Flu. Let's not forget. We'll see. We'll see what happens because anything, anything, anything could happen. So we'll see what happens. But for Palmeiras, there's probably more disappointment, and we'll react to their Twitter in a bit. But meanwhile, going back to Cruzeiro, I mean, they still have this. So, of course, the title's far from over. Well, just got started, but it seems like Flamengo's gaining momentum. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. A lot will happen. But today, they lose the derby or Clásico 3-1. Atletico Mineiro scored 3 goals, 2 from open play. I'm assuming 1 pen. Cruzeiro they couldn't score from open play. 2 players lost their heads. As expected, another derby. I couldn't do a watch along, which I wanted to, and I missed just because I had to go eat, and the restaurant was filled, so I couldn't come back in time. So all I gotta say, I watched kind of 15 minutes. So apparently this is one of the Hulk's last game before he moves to Fluminense. It's been Fabrizio Romano because apparently things. So yeah, did he even play? No, he didn't even play. Was he even on the bench? No, he wasn't there. He just left immediately. And they managed to do it without him. So yeah, and now Atletico Mineiro beats the crap out of Cruzeiro. I thought they could have won this game 4-0 just from last week. And yeah, they beat their biggest rivals. And even freaking Titi, of all people, Titi beats this Atletico Mineiro side. Cruzeiro couldn't score from open play. These guys were not good enough. These guys were getting outplayed. These guys were not serious. I don't know how the fuck is that possible. But yeah, sinker and hook for a lot of these. No, this guy apparently had long hair. I think Flake. Aha! Hold on. My bad. Sorry, accident. But yeah, so see, he has long hair. But yeah, Cruzeiro were absolutely awful. Arthur Jorge seems the hype that we saw him at Botafogo, which, by the way, he defeated this pathetic Atletico Mineiro, to win 3-1 against them in the Copa Libertadores. And the exact result, or the exact opposite, the result bites him instead. How is that possible? And even though Arthur Jorge was supposed to be right for Zayda, they've been going up and down. Doesn't mean he's going to get sacked, but it doesn't seem it was that impressive. They did tie 2-2. They did beat Remo away. They beat Boca Juniors, which we all thought they beat Barcelona, even though Barcelona are finished right now in Ecuador. But I thought they were picking up form. I thought the game against Sao Paulo was just a fluke all of a sudden until before they announced Arthur Jorge. In his first month, I thought he's been doing pretty good, but this is probably the second worst game. I mean, this is only his second loss, but a bit disappointed that he lost to Atletico and Sao Paulo. Kind of not so good, especially your biggest rivals at home. And now apparently away fans are back. It looks like Atletico Mineiro Cruzeiro are now allowing away fans again. But of course separated. Now the chickens, they battered the foxes, bro. So yeah, they got the cage. So let's see how Cruzeiro does, because they still have this Universidad. They could potentially play Sudamericana if they finish third, just because Barcelona, they're finished. or some of them might not even score in open play in the Libertadores. They got versus Bahia, Palmeiras. That's going to be a tough game. The toughest game of all is Palmeiras, no doubt about that. Oh, good night. Okay, good night to you. Well, big up to you. Yeah, I know it's late. I just had to go live pretty late. They still got visit Boca Juniors. They still got visit Buenos Aires and the hostile environment they have to go through in the return leg. Or we'll see what happens. But I thought they've been mostly doing pretty alright. I mean, it's only 3 defeats, 2 of them in the league. But there were some results, even I think they're doing better. But this is probably their worst performance. Them and San Paulo. This could have been worse. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Kyle Jorginho only scored a pen, couldn't score from open play. We'll see what happens. So Crusade, I'm gonna try. I'm assuming that but I'm assuming the teams were just not good enough today. The team was just not good enough. Even though they kept most of the best session, but they couldn't find those right balls. And they just couldn't score from open play. They only have one open play chance then because the shots on her, which of course it was penalties. One big chance and that was it. They did nothing. All the XGBS, they had a lot of shots, but all these shots are going nowhere near on target. And the Atletico deserves to win. And that's going to be tough. Because they're going to have to visit It's going to be tough for Atletico Mineiro. I'm sorry for Cruzeiro. And Atletico Mineiro, they've been based upon. But yeah. Today they showed up. We will see what happens to them. Nothing is guaranteed. But yeah, that was just crazy, bro. About the Mineiro derby. Shit, and I couldn't do it. But yeah, this is one of the biggest rivalries in Brazil. I should have done the Mineiro derby. So yeah. Alright, let's do the final preview. Clásico dos Milhões. Flamengo versus Vasco. Flamengo are the favorites, of course. They have not lost to Vasco since 2021 or 2019. It's been a while. Let me see if I could go down. Flamengo has Vasco's numbers. Yes, they have the Vasco. Funny enough, Vasco's last Clásico dos Milhões defeat was literally 6-1. They managed to get a result. They managed to draw 3 straight games in the league in 2024, 2025, 0-0. Yes, they got beat in the Carioca. But in the league, beaten. They managed to hold on for a draw. And the last time they played each other was January. Now we get to watch them. And then they still got to play each other October 27th. So, yeah. So, the last time Vasco defeated Flamengo, they're saying it was 2023. They said it was 2023. They said it was 2023, even though they said it was 2023 that they actually beat them. Even though I think this was the match day, Carioca, and apparently this was the last day. I don't know if Flamengo took it seriously that day, and I wasn't even watching back then yet. I mean, I wasn't connected at that time, so they beat the. But yeah, Vasco, this is their biggest game. This is their expected 11. So of course there's a couple injuries. Vasco, I mean they're only missing 3 players. So most of the players are available. Just no Kobayan, no Jaid. Of course Leo Jardim is always good. Always injury free. So Flamengo, I mean Ascaeta won't be available. I don't know what. I mean Flamengo have a couple players out. So they're saying Pedro won't start. I don't know. I think he will. I think Bruno Henrique comes off the bench. Since Ascaeta will not be in the number 10, it will be mostly like Saul or something. Got a scout. So it looks like he's suspended. So I think Flamengo, where we will be here for a watch along. We'll have updates from that Madrid game, and let's see if Barcelona becomes champions. As long as Real Madrid draw points to Espanyol somehow tomorrow. But yeah, tomorrow's an important Sunday, bro. Flamengo plays Vasco, and Clásico dos Millones, or Derby of the Millions, or Derby. So let's see. This is the big one, the biggest rivalry. And we're going to hear our football besides. So yeah, so let's see what happens. Because you'll never know. These teams really don't. So Flamengo, my prediction, I would say Flamengo wins 2-1 or 3-1 or 2-0. And especially the intense rivalry, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a red card from this game, especially some of Vasco. Let's see, I cannot wait for Clásico dos Millones, my favorite rivalry. One of my favorite rivalries of the game. So Flamengo, yeah, the fans are going to be hyped up. They're going to go for it. Leo Jardim is Leandro's going to cook them, bro. Even though it is Fulamente's former manager, the last time he played, he faced Flamengo when he was at Fulamente. And Fulamente lost 1-0. And I don't know if he'll park the bus for a 0-0 draw. Like that, Fulamente almost scraped the draw until Flamengo got that late winner, the header. I think Pedro will start instead of Bruno Henrique just because maybe last guy at this. So yeah, so yeah. Let's see how he does. Let's see how they do. We will be here because the game is for free on YouTube. At this point, and then by the way, Inter Milan might also become champion as long as they beat Parma. Potentially Milan winning their game tomorrow against Verona. I believe that's who they play. So yeah, so I can't wait for this Clásico dos Millones in exactly 15 hours from now. Let's see how this plays. Some other games will I do Inter Fulamense to make up from that time? Probably. So this probably will be on Global as well. I could watch this on YouTube and Global. I mean, I don't mind watching Real Madrid. New updates. But still yet to do the preview of another game. So, yeah. Like I said, I think Flamengo beats Vasco 3-1. That's my final prediction. And Flamengo gets closer to Palmeiras. Yeah, so I can't wait for this Clásico dos Millones. Flamengo potentially getting more viewers, especially this is the second biggest game outside the Liverpool-Manchester United game tomorrow. Definitely, because there isn't really much big games. El Clásico is not until next week anyways, even though the league is wrapped up. So I believe that's it. So I think anything else? So yeah. All right. So let me
No la
try.
pierdas,
All
¿eh?
right. Mm-hmm.
Ahí está.
All right. All right. So let's go on Twitter. I'm almost leaving. So yeah. So we'll do a couple minutes. So yeah, Orlando City just tweeted out one of those Argentinian number scored a hat trick. And it's not the guy exactly. What's his name? He actually scored. Yeah, this guy he needs to be talked about more. Maybe he is cooking. Like, what's his name again? Mr. Aloha bringing in. So yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, to the Miami fans, I think they should appreciate how well this. So yes, and to all the Messi fans, I think they're gonna have to hold it, bro. I don't even matter. Miami deserves all the cooking. Absolutely, bro. Big up. That's true. And even though it's not really, yeah, you could say Messi. It's not Messi's fault. Of course, there's all the memes, big troll. All right. Besides the banter rivalry, even though you could say Messi, even though this was Messi's team, so you can't really. I'm not gonna lie. It's from Miami. You could say they're not football heritage. No, they're not. Because it's just built in the fast slash new slash new unexperienced ownership. That's how I put it. Because that's the problem. Miami are yet to become history with LA Galaxy. Like in LA Galaxy or even LAFC, how they process. Yes, of course you have Carlos Vela as the main guy from Sociedad himself, and then of course now it's Son Heung-min. I believe got GA against. So yeah. But underrated, or huh? I want to know what club he played in. Did he used to play at Boca or something, River? But of course, Messi will say this, that, trophies. Even though Messi didn't know exactly. Of course, I still see, of course, but goats is enough. Let's not forget. Exactly. Instead, of course, Messi is Messi, but there's just actual games. But when it happens, it actually happens. There's the Ronaldo fans will come out, of course, but there's levels. And of course, besides those, but it happens times. But yeah, Orlando City, not fully. See, but Orlando City, they deserve to win. But just their defense, bro. And this is Orlando City. Now they're coming back, even though it's very momentum. Even though Griezmann is down himself after losing that Copa del Rey final, potentially lose to Arsenal. The way they moved, even though they didn't rotate, even though we'll see. But yeah, these guys were 3-0 up. Just to lose the game 4-3 makes no sense, bro. Best Argentinian for trophy. One MLS Cup, one US Open Cup. And Orlando did join. And then you may be the biggest in Florida, but however, you're not the biggest in the MLS. And you're not even close to even be the biggest to CONCACAF. I hate to say it. Where's your CONCACAF Champions Cup? Yes, Orlando doesn't have one. And yeah, you could say Orlando moves slower, but Miami, you kind of cheated with some rules. I'm not going to lie. No offense, but Miami kind of, even though I was wearing the Inter Miami shirt just for once, but I just won't forget that Miami, you had the favoritism. Yeah, I'm just going to respond. And you know, I'll probably respond. All right, I think someone else will respond. You know, I'll send one of the anti-Barca guys anyways. They'll respond. But where's Miami's Champions Cup? Even though you could say even though the rules, bro, the league. But Miami's not even there. But Miami, despite winning those 4 trophies, they're not LA Galaxy. They can't chat to America or Cruz Azul or even Chivas. Not even close. Even though, of course, people want to mock Chivas for being the honest and big club, even though they're not. But Chivas have more history. Dude, you're not even in the Champions Cup semifinals. Yes, Orlando City didn't qualify, but you guys didn't make it through the first round against Nashville. And you guys are relying on Tigres to mock Nashville. It's embarrassing. Which, by the way, the team which you needed 2 penalties to advance because you couldn't score from open play, especially without Messi. And then just to get bodied by Seattle, Washington, by the Sounders, after they even and don't forget, you guys were expected to get better by Miami, but you could have lost by more. Oh shoot, I think we got a goal in Liga MX. I think Atlas or Cruz Azul, they've scored. It's a goal. I'm hearing it. You lost the Champions Cup. You lost the Champions League. Well, you didn't. You lost the Champions League to Bayern. And look, PSG. Even though I'm not saying Messi is the full problem, who scored? Oh shit, Cruz Azul 2-0. Even they, after they got rid of Asemi and / Nicholas for Lemricon, ever since they got rid of those 2 scrubs, they've been better. Meanwhile, for Messi, yes, you could say Mbappe mostly. You can blame Mbappe all you want as he's tearing down things in Madrid right now. But you didn't did anything either against Bayern. You did nothing against Real Madrid. Even you didn't show up as much. Even though Mbappe, of course, at that time, that main point. Even though if all the Barcelona and PSG fans were united just because it's Real Madrid, even though, yes, PSG and Real Madrid, of course, don't hate each other. But yeah, Real Madrid don't. But yeah, even though, of course, Messi, this is not even Copa Libertadores. You guys are asking Copa Libertadores, and yet you're losing Libertadores. And yet you just lost the Libertadores title. I mean, no, you can't even win the CONCACAF Champions Cup. You lost to Monterrey 5-2. You lost 5-1 to Vancouver. Got eliminated in the first round by a draw against Nashville just because of the way it goes. Even though I mean, you were very lucky to not get pounded 10-0 / double digits against PSG, against your own former club. And PSG have been better, and now PSG this time, instead of losing 1-0 to Bayern, they battered them 5-4. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think some fans, they probably should be getting cooked. No offense to all my Messi Barcelona fans, even as a Portadistas, even though I, of course, major more respect. Even though I wouldn't clown you too much, okay, maybe somewhat, but even though I don't think you, even if you're a plastic club, which you kind of are, you're not Benfica. You know Benfica. Even Orlando City may look at this admin, bro. Hopefully I don't get copyright, but look at this guy. He actually made an edit video. Dude, give that admin pay rise, bro. What the fuck? Don't stop cooking, bro. No way. Well, you did beat them out. And then, of course, Miami this. We have history. Does that mean that's true? And don't forget you lost that final to Orlando. Even though even though I don't agree with this. My response, where's your Champions Cup? I mean, well, even Orlando City. I mean, who knows? Maybe Griezmann. Even though, of course, he's getting mocked up himself just because he's cursing La Liga. Doesn't want to do it for Atletico to win a single trophy in that. I get it. But who knows? Maybe Griezmann actually cooks. Even though it's sad we won't see him in the derby. Yeah, congrats. I did. Miami fan since July, exactly. That's true. You wouldn't even be here. My response, even though, yes, Orlando City, they probably should call out your horses, but you're not even the. Where's your Champions Cup? Dude, I'm just going to send this to Anthony Barcelona. He's absolutely going to be cooking these guys, bro. Where's your CONCACAF Champions Cup? Where's your CONCACAF Champions Cup? You don't even have one. You can't even make it through the past of round of 16, which Tigres are the ones eliminating. Cooked. Scoreboard. And they're like, yeah, but let's not forget. By the way, Orlando did that without robbing, or that's true. Even though as a Nashville fan, but I get it. Even though Nashville fans have been picking on America fans, of course, they could still need an improved attitude of this. But I'm not gonna lie, this is probably pretty hilarious, but kind of true at the same time. Like I hate to say, but Miami. But even though you could say MLS is not good enough, but yeah, but it's like of course those Falcone, bro. No, he's always been an awful defender, bro. You are lucky that this is not Libertadores, bro. Okay, version. Of course, I want to put this. These people don't understand. Oh, Miami came back. Yeah, and then like, oh, this, that. What about the? Where? Meanwhile, what about the Champions Cup? Nothing about that. And like shit like that. What a sad story. Oh my goodness. Look at this, bro. Homie's crying. This is why. Look at U.S. soccer. This is why U.S. soccer is a mess because this. I mean, even though I'm not blaming everything on Messi in Miami, but I'm just saying there's not fully clean at all. They'll want to say, oh, 5-0 win. Even though it's a lean, it feels like you're celebrating the trophy more. Even though League's Cup, you could say there was controversy, but did you even win? Did you even win the league? No, you didn't. Even though you managed to win the Supporters Shield, just because Columbus Crew doesn't have the levels like what Portuguese or Spanish league football has, even though they're not much better. I mean, well, and then like against Orlando City, you could say the red card helped you. The pen. But are we not going to bring up Seattle's result? Like this, that. Tactical Manager TV is absolutely going to be. Let's see if he cooks something about Messi's World Cup. I could say, yep, pen. But yeah, even though there's no way Argentina does back-to-back champions, like, all respect to Messi and all the things, but I don't think Argentina will win back-to-back European title. I mean, world titles, World Cup. Even though I can look at the same Mickey Mouse. Yeah, that's true. They do. They did, and I'm not gonna lie. Even though MLS is still in this, let's see for it. I think this guy's in. Let's see how you. But yeah, you just but right now your club might just go trophyless, and who knows? Maybe Orlando City wins U.S. Open Cup. I think Orlando and San Jose and another MLS club are the three favorites. But yeah, they do. Yep, sweep the floors like we seen this before in August. They battered them 4-1. Just one more game. And yeah, who knows? Then this momentum might just kick off a gift from Disney World. Hello, Mickey Mouse. Oh my goodness, bro. Over in Florida is purple. Showed who was in the boss. Big ups, ref. I'll give him a follow just because he's Brazilian. And yes, there's levels to this. With all respect to the play. A win is a win, bro. But how did you guys capitulate it? How did Miami collapse? And look, and even Nashville and Orlando, bro. The Nashville Miami rivalry, everyone hates. It's kind of true, even though you could say Nashville gotta have it both ways. But yeah, Porto. And by the way, you want to know something? Porto, they've been league leaders since match day 4. There you go. That's why this is called the best. So there was 87 trophies. 2 UEFA the Intercontinental Cup, of course. 2 Champions Leagues. 2 Europa Leagues. 1 UEFA Super Cup. Yeah, that's true, including the Super, the league trophy and all that. But yeah, welcome to Los Dragones. Who knows? Hopefully, if Porto, bro. If Porto, actual history, not like Miami, probably fall off, just display. Maybe if Porto somehow comes back, the Dragon rises up to its core at its peak like it once was in 2004. I hope Porto wins the Champions League in like the next 10, 15 years. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, you could see that happening for a couple of years. But in my lifetime, they should win at least a third UCL. I think they should go for a third UCL. Okay, in the next few years, I mean, of course, you could say Barcelona, despite how cursed they've been the UCL, they haven't won in 10 years. Porto haven't won in 20 years. And but if Porto somehow comes back and wins the Champions League, wins the UEFA Super Cup, the Intercontinental Cup, then yeah, the dynasty is on. It could happen, but let's see. Porto are just the pride of Portugal. All we need is to win that Super Cup, and boom, we're officially bigger than Benfica. Benfica have the same number of UCL titles, and now I think we just tied them on league titles. I think we have the same number of titles of pretty much everything. So yeah, even though Benfica, they do have the more league titles, 38 to 31. That's a joke. So they're saying about, even though Benfica only has 2 international trophies, we represent Portugal more. Benfica, they only have those 2 Champions League. I don't think they have an Intercontinental Cup, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they have an Intercontinental Cup. Or at least one. Not the International Champions Cup. Oh yeah, because you want to know why you don't have a Club World Cup? No tiene Mundial? Santos! Santos, right? Santos beats you back to back, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Goal. Goal. I think it's 3-0 Cruz Azul. It's game over. It's game over. Let me see if that's true. I'm not even watching the game before I do end the stream. But yeah, this is just my thoughts. Atlas gets one back. Game is not over yet. So I believe that's all I gotta say. Realistically, I believe that's all I gotta say. There's still, I know, things to work on. Porto, they're just the biggest club in Portugal. There's nothing that you can be against them. So it's good to see. Porto campeón. Keep waving these flags, bro. The pride of Portugal. So yeah, Benfica, bro. (1962). Who did they have? Benfica. How didn't they win a single Intercontinental Cup? They don't even have a Club World Cup or global title. They lost to Peñarol and Santos. Wow. 0 global titles. No tienes mundial, just like Palmeiras. No tienes mundial. 0. 0 global titles. And dude, of course, dude. Don't even compare it to us. Benfica no tiene mundial. Benfica no tiene mundial. Including 2 of them. I got 2 global titles. I defeated Peñarol 2-1 in 1987 in snowy Tokyo. And then I defeated Zacales, the Libertadores winners, 2004. 0-0 draw, and I won on pens. Porto won on pens. So yeah. So on that, Chupa Benfica, bro. No tiene mundial. You don't have a Club World Cup title. You're in the conversation with Palmeiras, with all the MLS clubs, Vasco, Botafogo, on not having a Club World Cup global title. You got 0. Paris Saint-Germain has 1. I have 2. Flamengo has 1. Corinthians 2. Santos 2. São Paulo 3. But Benfica 0. 0 titles. Dude, I think Benfica, you could say they are the Club America Portugal. I mean, it's a mix of both America and Chivas. Just because the Eagle, you could say it's supposed to be America, but even though Benfica and America, I mean, well, they are really similar. But Chivas, they only have 2 continental titles, just like Benfica's. It's not America. I think, yeah, it's a mix of more so than America. But Benfica, bro, you guys have done nothing. You guys have done nothing since. Look at this. I'm the bigger club. I've won things. I'll keep winning more trophies, and who knows win the dynasty. Somehow, if we win the Champions League next year, be diluted. But try to compete. Even though I wanted that Europa League trophy still. If I win, oh, this is not over yet. This is not. This is not. This is not. The certain fraud from Brazil. This is football heritage. Porto. I will say in Portuguese, but Porto will only get bigger and bigger, and it's always big, but just getting bigger each day. So yeah, Porto campeón. I don't even think you win anything next season, bro. Who knows? You probably should retain the title. Probably will squad depth, bro. You got very lucky to not lose three in a row. Should have lost, and we should have won against. But yeah, Porto. I think the debate should be over, in my opinion. Benfica. These guys were lucky to even defeat their biggest crosstown rival, Sporting Lisbon. But yeah, they got very lucky. But I just they got to win that Super Cup. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna win anything. B team. You on our B team, pal. That's true. They got rankings Brazil. So yeah. All right. So let's put let's search up Palmeiras. If not Palmeiras, Flamengo, Los Angeles. But yeah, congrats to Porto, bro. Good to see. Final day, that's true. Now he's won the Portuguese League. Good to see. I feel him, bro. Oigo. Absolutely, long live football. The pride of Portugal. All the blue and white, yes. Not like those frauds, bro. Just one game lost. Okay, and just one season. And I think that's only one bad game in the season. I forgot who it was against. But it doesn't matter. Porto's champion. Porto's campeón. Unlike a certain other team of frauds that nothing but whines, fish moans, and crying. Good to see Alonso living up. Yeah. And it's even though I don't think they did their trophy giveaway or their trophy lift just yet, just because it wants to wait till next week. Not next week, until then. Look at this Benfica Nista. Oh, one day's gonna be. Oh shit! Penalty. Penalty for who? Oh, Benfica's gonna be champion. What a trivium. All these Benficanistas, bro. Look at these crybabies, bro. They lost their heads, bro. Like, I've lost respect. I'm just like Atletico Madrid, Benfica, and potentially Valencia. I'm not buying their shirts, bro. Venice. Oh my god, I'm not here with this. Look at this. This is all the Vivorta. This one's in Dutch. Master, bro. Yeah. Big up to Porto, bro. Absolutely. Celebrating all night. Vamos! Best club, bro. I really love this blue and white club, bro. The pride of Portugal. Count me in, bro. I love those dragones, bro. I love the dragons, bro. Unlike that certain Eagle club. Disgustingness. Every report though. So yeah, that'll be the end of the stream, guys. Hope you enjoy. I said everything for my part. But Benfica, bro. Even though there's still one more clip I want to find, they can hold that. So all I gotta say, one thing. Hold on. Like at this point, these bottle jobs, bro. Exactly. It means absolutely nothing, bro. These very finish the league and still not win it. They went invincible. I thought without the penalty, you guys should have lost, bro. And goal. 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 Atlas have tied the game. Penalty. But yeah, Benfica are in the mud. These guys, they show their true colors. I am never going to forgive them. Unbeaten, but beaten the title race. Like, invincible. These frauds, bro. Shoot. These guys been getting away with this. These guys deserve to lose, bro. Oh, come on, not trying. Yeah, let's smoke that. Oh, yeah. Hopefully Porto does back to back, bro. Yeah, I'm up. And now because of this, I switched my profile picture to the league trophy that is going to be lifted, of course. I know, of course, it's a MG for now. But yeah, I will change it once the actual one, bro. One more thing, congrats to Porto, Forza Porto, which I will probably join in, bro. Benfica, Mierda, in the mud. Sporting Lisbon, we're gonna have to throw the refs, bro. You guys are pretty much the same, just like Real Madrid. Like, you guys just don't do anything special. Not fun to watch. But yeah, let's not forget Porto produces some of the world's best players. Let's not forget. Who's from Porto again? Yes. Besides Jota, of course, besides a couple players. Besides Vitinha, who else? Fabio Silva, Andre Silva, Fabio Herrera, Francisco Ruben Neves, Militao, Luis Diaz. Yeah. Don't forget Porto's Mexicans dynasty when they had that in, 10 years ago, with Corona, Herrera, Reyes, and dude. So yeah, Porto, bro, it's time to get big again. So campeones, 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 ole, ole, ole. Campeones, campeones. Oh, well, I know. After having that tough year last year, 20-0, it feels so much better. All right, guys. I believe that's it. All right, I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.